Did you guys hear about this nonsense? Will you please tell the story? We're so sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
You guys she went to get coffee. So anyway, I want to kick off. We wanted to give a little extra time because traffic apparently has been gnarly today. So I want to do some introductions. Where are my supplier partners? Chris, you can come up with me. Dawn, you come up with me. Sarah. I don't think Allie's here, right? Okay. So first, you guys are part of the Austin multifamily breakfast club debut. So yay! You've never been here, but I want to give you a little bit of quick history on what you came to and why this group even exists. So back in the day, I'm from Chicago. I'm Tara, by the way. Did I even say? I did not. That's so typical of me. Tara Samuels, everyone. I came in from Atlanta, and years ago, I was really sick and tired of people not working together, playing nice. Back in the day when I was a property manager, I was faxing market surveys. Anyone even know what a fax machine is? There was a stigma about sharing how your property was doing. There was a stigma about concessions and sharing that information, and I was like, somebody needs to put a stop to this. But I also wanted to make sure that I got to see everybody in Chicago, so we started this. It didn't even have a name back then, Chris, did it?
No.
So we started what now is called the Multifamily Breakfast Club. It has now become so popular in Atlanta that we're coming to different markets. So Dawn and I hosted in San Antonio in October. But anyway, so it's meant to just be a monthly gathering. Everybody puts their guard down. Sometimes we have a speaker, sometimes we don't. I'm going to introduce Stacey last because she's our guest of honor. But Chris actually hired me 13 years ago. How many people know Chris from Austin? A bunch of people in this room. I used to report to him way back in the day, and he saw me do this in Chicago, and we were talking this morning about how cool it is that it's come full circle, that now we're bringing it to other markets. So be on the lookout. We're going to come back to Austin probably later this year. We're going to head to Houston, and we're also heading to Dallas. So just keep your eyes and ears out. But I want to thank my supplier sponsors that have put this together, because without them, this would not be here. So let's start with Chris, and let them know who you are, where you're from, all that.
All right. Chris Burleson with Indigo Construction. We are a veteran-owned company. We specialize in multifamily construction. Our owners, including myself, come from the operations side, so we have a little, inside look and understanding of what your day-to-day looks like, what your property's needs are. But we're here to help. We want to partner with you. We consider us more of a partner. We want to have clear communication. We've got clear scopes, and just really partner with you, give you advice we need to, like on NOI projects. Be honest about the scopes, like, hey, you may not need this. So that's one thing we hang our hat on, is just being honest with you. So if you need CapEx projects, exterior, interior renovation, clubhouse amenities, etc., please give us a call. If you haven't, give us a shot. We'd love the opportunity.
Sarah works with my amazing husband, by the way. He's also in the industry.
Her husband happens to be my boss. No pressure. Sarah McKernan Flores. I'm from San Antonio, so I drove up today. This is the second multifamily breakfast that I've been to. They're always just super fun, and you meet new people and get to talk about things that maybe you wouldn't pick up the phone and talk, because it's not really business related. I'm with a company called One App. What we do is we help people gain access to housing that would traditionally be denied or walk away from your communities today. We do that by supporting the lease. We are different from maybe some of the competitors or people that you're maybe more familiar with. We are a mission-based company. From our founder's tremendous experience with being homeless himself and going through the struggles of trying to get access to housing and finding out that maybe what we perceive as risk is an actual risk. So that's really what we do. Like I said, I'm in Texas, in San Antonio. We are a national company, and we actually work with CRS. They are one of our partners. So happy to be here.
And Sarah can kick all of our asses. You guys follow her on LinkedIn. She's usually posting from the gym.
I do.
My name is Dawn Hall. I head up renter's insurance for a company now named Kangaroo. We have renter's insurance in Georgia, Florida, and Texas, with plans to go nationwide. So definitely a startup looking to modernize the experience. We got our footprint started in pet insurance 5 years ago, and now we have started last year with our renter's insurance division. So definitely excited about modernizing. We both do bilingual English and Spanish from support to policy documents. And not only do we have the AI and the technology to make it a seamless experience, we have the humans to help support our clients and the customers that we serve. So that's me. And I am thrilled to be here.
We may or may not have bought cowboy boots. Okay, so what we want to do is go around the room. We were going to do show and tell style introductions, but in the interest of time, and we want to give as much time to Stacey and also the property tour, which is at the end. So we're going to go around the room. If you could say your name, where you work, your title, and how long you've been in multifamily, that would be fantastic. I'm actually going to move around with my camera, but just don't look at me. Just pretend I'm not here. You know I'm starting with you. She's like, why is she looking at me? But before we do that, Michael, can I have you do your intro at the end before I do Stacey? Are you okay with that? Sure. Okay. All right. So you pick up.
So my name is Claudia Conway. I'm actually with CRS. I'm a property manager. I've been in the industry for about a little over 12 years.
Okay, that's me. My name's Rania. I am also with CRS, and I've been in the industry 36 years.
Woo!
That's hard to follow up with.
I'm Celeste. I'm with ZRS as well, and I'm a property manager. I've been in the industry about 10 years now.
Hi, my name's Jennifer. I'm with CRS, community manager, and I've been in the industry as long as my son is. He's 17, will be 18.
Welcome. Let's see that back that way.
Hi, I'm Julie Scott. I'm not with CRS. I have been a multifamily investor for the last 6 years, along with my husband, he's Greg here.
Oh, another multifamily couple.
But we actually invested in a private company that looking to help renters find ways to pay rent and also benefits the property management. So love to share that with you.
Hi, my name is Denise. I'm with Reef Equity. I am the senior asset management analyst. That was a tongue twister. And I've been in the industry for almost 5 years. I'm a baby.
You're allowed to stay. You have all your stuff.
I don't want to run the floor.
Greg?
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm Julie's husband, and we've been in multifamily for about 5 years, 6 years, investing in things of that nature. And as she said, we're in a private company to help renters.
Perfect. Kate Martinez, I'm with the Morgan Group. I'm a regional manager and I cover Austin and San Antonio. And I've been in the industry for 23 years.
And if anyone has a Tide pen, she can use it.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Lo. I'm also with the Morgan Group. I'm a property manager and I've been in the industry for 17 years.
Did you say how long you've been in the industry? 23, you said?
Dang, that's a lot.
I'm Jerry Esquivel. I'm the area manager in San Marcos for the Price Company. I've been in the industry for about 18 years.
Hi, I'm Rosa. I'm with Capstone. I've been in the industry for 19 years.
I love that you did this, because I feel like I do this all the time too.
It's just a tick.
Zigzag back this way.
Brittany Gutierrez, I'm with Gables Residential, regional manager. I've been in the industry for 27 years and 25 of them have been with Gables.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
Can somebody keep them company on the couch, y'all? Like, this is empty.
Jen, meet a friend.
Jennifer Daphne, I'm with Harbor Group. I've been in the industry since 2009.
Bethany Frazier, I'm also with Harbor Group and I've been in the industry about 22 years.
And I'm a regional manager. I oversee San Antonio and Round Rock.
Yeah, it's comfy, right?
Did we get everybody? I think we got everybody. So Michael, if you come up this way. So it all starts with our host, right? So one of the things is I try my best to find a willing participant, a host, a community that will welcome us in. Michael and his team have been so amazing to work with. So thank you to your whole team. I have been accosting him with all of like the things and the details and the planning. So I appreciate everything that you have done. So if you want to introduce yourself and thank you for hosting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate the guidance because this is my first time participating in kind of an event like this, so I was kind of like, didn't know what to expect, so I relied on a lot of her details and information that kind of worked out here. But my name is Michael Garcia. I'm with ZRS Management. We're a third-party management company. We're based out of Florida. Our second biggest hub is Texas, and of course, we're growing out our Austin market. As you can see, we have our ZRS portfolio on the left side of the but I've been in the industry going on 19 years. I like to tell everybody I started when I was 10. Just not to age myself. But similar to kind of the connection with you and Chris, I also know Chris when I first started in the industry. I also know Kate. We also work together. I used to call Kate great, and she's amazing.
You can still do it. You don't have to.
Yeah, for sure. But it's good to see a full circle here. Like, and when you told me about the event, it kind of all came together. Where like we're just so used to talking to our individual huddles. Like it kind of opens up the idea, like kind of reach out and get the expertise for someone who's been doing it for 23 years or whatever the longest one was here. But
Rania.
I should know that. She works for ZRS, right? But it's good to have that information available to us and be able to network and be able to work together and collaborate and get ideas and enjoy these fun events that we don't really have much opportunity to do so. So happy that we're able to provide some kind of opportunity to contribute to this event, and thank you guys for coming.
Yay. So I think I put this in the agenda. At the end of our event is the tour of the property. Michael and a couple of his team members are going to take us through the amenities and some of the other spaces in the community. If for some reason you can't stay for the tour, that's okay. But we do want to let you know that that is how we close it out. I'm going to warn you, if you guys didn't get this yet, is I'm going to make y'all come out of your shell. So we don't want like stiff networking and like, oh, that's so nice. No, like everyone's gonna like loosen up. We're gonna have fun. That's how we're gonna do the tour. You guys are looking at me like I'm nuts. That's okay. But now I'm gonna introduce our special guest, Stacey. Come on over here. I want to see a show of hands. How many people knew Stacey before they came in today? Of course, Sarah's like, woo! Okay. So a quick little story. This is the first time her and I got to meet, and I have literally, like, I almost feel like I was gonna cry. Because Stacey is one of the most giving individuals. She's so knowledgeable. Rosa, you could probably back all of this up. And Denise was with Reap too, right? Yeah, good, you sat down, good. I met Stacey very serendipitously, virtually, through just some other networking that I do with a group called Multifamily Mentor Matchmaking. And she has been so instrumental to not just me, Sarah can attest to this, but some other folks in the industry who she has mentored selflessly. At the time that I met her, she was working for a management company, but she has since gone out on her own. She has a company called Asset NOI Consulting. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
She came from San Antonio and faced the gnarly traffic. Was she in a carpool? Yeah, she was in a carpool. I'm excited because she's going to be speaking on something that she knows really well, which is all about NOI, but particularly about how can we not rely on concessions so much when it comes to renewals and just bringing people in the door. She's been on some podcasts. She's really knowledgeable, so I hope you all follow her on LinkedIn. If you're not, you will. She puts out some really, really great content. But what we're gonna do too, after she does her own introduction, is we're gonna break up into groups. So does everyone have a colored index card? Michael, you need one? I'll get you one. We're gonna do an activity for about 10-15 minutes that you guys are all gonna be working together on something that she's put together. And then we're gonna come together and share some of this feedback. But I want you to do your own intro, but thank you so much for being here today. You guys, she's amazing.
Thank you.
So.
Well, I'm really excited to be here with you guys this morning. You know, we walked in here from our different organizations, but the reality is we all work for multifamily. This is our business. So today we work as, our company is the Multifamily Breakfast Club, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So as Tara mentioned, we're gonna do an exercise and work together as the new team that we are. So she said, my name's Stacey Hampton, based out of San Antonio, Texas. My company is Asset NOI Consulting. It's a multifamily consulting firm. I work nationally with properties and portfolios. I've got clients right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Atlanta, Austin. My focus is to help multifamily communities earn more revenue, spend less, and increase the value of their properties. But the part of what I do that I love the most is working with the people and giving them support and helping them get more for their hard work. So today's, we're gonna talk about renewals as an NOI strategy. And that's gonna be what the exercise is focused around. So I'm gonna hand something out. I hope I have enough, because I think we have a bigger group than what we might have anticipated. This is a really great turnout. But on the back of this is gonna be the worksheet that we do, but I want you to have this in front of you as we're talking about it. So we may have to share, not you, Sarah. Just kidding. So undoubtedly, the work that we do together, there's nothing more important than renewing, and so that's what we're gonna talk about first. And so, okay, everybody's got one? Okay, good, I did have enough. Okay, Sarah, you can have one. So, what we're gonna do, hopefully, is help you build your 2026 renewal strategy. So, if we're gonna talk about the importance of a renewal strategy to NOI, we can't really have a serious conversation without first acknowledging how much work goes into turnover, and the impact to the communities is enormous. As a matter of fact, I feel very confident saying that there's nothing that has any of us working harder in this industry than turnover. So what I've got here is an actual example of a property and its cost, its annual cost to turnover. It's averages per unit. Now, here in Austin, the average days vacant right now is at 49 days. So actually, Austin will be higher as far as vacancy, takes on the average 49 days. This is also calculating 1 month concession, and many of the Austin properties are having to offer more than that. So more than likely, your annual cost for turnover for your properties is likely higher than what we're looking at here. So turn expenses, trash out labor, bulk item removal, marketing. For this specific example property, the annual cost to turnover for each unit averaged $5,700. Okay, so $5,700 for one unit, one apartment. Okay, so we've quantified the financial impact of just a single turnover.
Can I ask a question, Stace?
Sure.
Does that also include, because I'm not staring at a paper, so I don't know if you already have it on.
Sorry, you didn't get one.
Sarah? No, I was just curious if that includes like the staff time and like the labor and their time too, or just like the cost to turn the unit itself?
This is make-ready labor's incorporated in it, but as we all know, there's a lot more to it than just the unit turn. I'm glad you asked, because as a matter of fact, on average, per unit is 14 hours of time at the site level. There's 8 hours to turn the unit, and then the assistant manager the techs, the manager, and the leasing. So, brings me to my next point. There is literally nothing that has us working harder than turnover. Collectively as a group, whether you're an asset manager, owner, looking at your vacancy on your weekly calls, if you are a regional manager trying to figure out how to get more traffic, you're doing all those things because somebody moved out. So on average, like I said, about 14 hours per unit is spent when a resident moves out. Now, adversely, if we can improve retention and renew our residents, that saves us 14 hours. So if we're able, by our efforts today working together and efforts at the site level to save 10 notice to vacates this year, that's gonna save us 140 hours, $57,000 in cost, and 140 hours annually for just 10 more renewals. That comes out to about 3.5 weeks a year in saved man hours. So with those 3.5 weeks a year, we can invest in taking better care of the property, leasing more apartments, marketing. It's enormous impact to the property, both at a financial level and at the site level. So, you know, on average, about 20% of our annual turnover is controllable. What do I mean by that? That means that the other 30% are moving out because of life change events, right? So I'm not gonna say that we can get 100% retention, because we know we can't. But typically about 20% of that is controllable. That means that about 20% of our turnover is going to move to another community within 3 miles of your community. How do I know that? Because I did a 12-month-long study on a portfolio of 17 properties in 4 markets. And I tracked where they came from when they moved to the property. If their property if they moved from a property within 3 miles of my property, I marked that on a map for 17 properties for a whole year, and found that 20.7% of our new leases came from competitor properties. So in turn, that means that 20% of your turnover is probably moving to one of your competitors. So why do residents move, right? Primarily because of irritation. They move because they're irritated. They're irritated because of any number of things, right? It takes too long to fix things. Maybe they're irritated about their neighbors. Maybe they're irritated because they don't feel like they're getting the value for what they're spending. What's the first thing they tell us when they're unhappy? I pay my rent on time. That's another way to say, I'm paying you and I'm unhappy about it. So, you know, there are other reasons, but we're just gonna focus on the controllables, right? They feel like they're paying too much for what they're getting. The controllable is what they're getting, right? So, you know, one way to kind of think about this and how I typically demonstrate it, because a lot of times we're looking at money, and I'm not gonna say that the rent doesn't have an impact, but the rent is relative to the value they feel like they're receiving when they're there. So, a good example of that for me is, you know, how many people in this room in the last year has changed cell phone providers? Wow, nobody.
I can pretend.
No, it makes my point really well. Okay. The chance that, how many people in this room think if they change cell phone providers, they probably could lower their monthly bill?
I actually got approached recently with my internet provider. They're now offering phone service. And it was like, switch to us for phone service and we'll give you a whole year free of internet. And when I called, they fixed the issue regardless, right?
but then I have had such a great customer service experience with my current company that I didn't go for it.
See, exactly, right? You don't, mostly you don't change because either you're happy with what you have or you don't want the hassle of it, right? So, how many of you, are unhappy with your cell phone service? Anybody? I am. I'm paying $180 a month for mine, and my son's paying $30 for his. So for me, but you know what? I'll be honest, I'm not so unhappy that I've made the change. And he just got on to me for it last night. He changed a year ago and he loves his service. And I'm like, I'm paying $180 for my own line, for a single line. So I haven't changed. My point is, I'm just not irritated enough, apparently, to make the change. So residents typically move in that 20% controllable because they're unhappy or they don't feel like they're getting the value for their money, right? Because otherwise, why in the world would anybody else do it? So for this particular exercise, if you flip over to the back, what we want to do is we want to focus on renewals as a strategy. Now, I said if we were able to save just 10 notice to vacates this year, that would bring in about $57,000 more in revenue. But if you put that on a 6 cap, we're adding about $1 million in value to the property. So not only are we saving 140 man hours, which is about 3.5 weeks worth of man hours a year, we're adding $57,000 to the NOI and about $1 million in property value. 20% controllable. So the task, the mission here is to come up with 3 ways that we can drive renewals without offering rent discounts. In some cases, you very well may have to. But in this case, you would always want to look at what can we be doing to make people feel comfortable and not want to change cell phone providers. I mean, apartment community. So one operational move and one resident experience move. So what can we do to drive the resident experience so that even if you're giving away, somebody's giving away 2 months free, they look at it and say, well, hopefully they don't look at all, but they look at where they live now and say, I'm happy where I'm at. And so one of them is a tactical move. The other one may be, question 2 may be, how do we make our residents feel comfortable, feel good at home? What's important to them?
Do you think in the interest of time, we can maybe split the room in half the room go in the conference room and work on the resident one, and then the other half work on
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, we'll do that. At the end, I'm gonna ask you to hand all these back, and we're gonna anonymously go over some answers. So this is where we're gonna crowd share your brilliance together. And I would say don't worry about having the wrong answers or bad ideas. I would argue with anybody that the fact that we're sitting in this room together, focusing on retention and renewals, is going to be extraordinarily valuable for your communities. And I bet there's not another group of people in the country right now that are going to be sharing ideas together and putting this amount of focus on it. So
I'm gonna pick 6 people to come with me in there. So we're gonna do every other though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm making you guys get to know other people.
Make it good,
Okay,
guys.
come with me. We're gonna go in the conference room over here. Michael, you join us.
All right, let's get together. Those of us down here, let's get together and
What are we working on? What are we working on?
brainstorm.
Which one?
All right, so, we wanna gather around the picnic table? Pool table? I wanna be outside, I guess. All right. All right, so, remember you. Yeah, same.
I'm gonna check in there.
So we can either write your ideas down individually, or we can go around and crowdsource some ideas up to you. Feel free to talk. We're doing, oh, we don't like it. That's a good question. That's a good question. Which group are Okay, we're doing operational moves. Okay, so operational move is really tactical, right? So we're looking at you know, as an organization, what can we do tactically to improve renewals? That could be anything from lease terms, that could be, you know, communication strategies, that could be, I think some of the answers we got was, you know, reaching out to residents 120 days before. It could be setting up meetings with them, proactive approaches, something tactically we can do to improve our retention.
Go ahead. I like the idea of reaching out to them months in advance to see if there's anything in their apartment that they need fixing, just kind of like, how do you feel comfortable here? Is there something that we can change? So then that way they already have that idea even before they get the renewal letter. So once they get the renewal letter, if there's an increase, they're not seeing it as like, oh, it's just money. They're reaching out, they're wanting to hear if I have complaints, issues, that kind of stuff.
I like it. Let's go ahead and write that one down. Who wants to go next?
So I was gonna piggyback off that, because I think it's huge to go ahead and like, make it feel like you're treating them as a person and not as, you know, everyone wants to be heard. You know, so it's that communication with them, that's so huge, just to make it personal, add in like, and this probably goes in hand with the resident experience, but writing a little, like, you know, note to them, a little thank you note, make it personal. I think those little things matter.
Yeah, I do too.
I'd say that you actually want to try to build a community, and actually have them come together so you can build a room, and then from there you can actually start figuring out where the pieces are missing.
I think there's also, to your point, I think there's power in seeing other people that are planning to stay and saying, okay, well, especially for those people who tend to be indecisive, right? I don't know if I want to stay, if I'm going to go, but I see a bunch of people in a room that are planning on staying. So it's one of the ways that's achieved sometimes through a renewal party. I think another great approach is just before that renewal letter goes out, calling and asking them what their plans are. Because a lot of times they'll let you know at that point whether or not they're planning to stay. So normally you make a call and you talk to them and you're like, hey, I just wanted to check and see what, you know, the renewal's coming up, are you planning to stay? Often the answer you get is, well, it depends on the rent increase. Well, for me, that's a problem. I'm probably going to stay. And in some cases, you'll have somebody say, well, I would, but I've had these problems. So that kind of is the same sort of strategy. What about lease terms? You know what I mean? Like, from a renewal strategy, doesn't one way to make sure your residents stay is if you've got a great resident who's paying on time, is a positive contributor to the community, why wouldn't you want them to stay longer? So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of minutes now that we've talked through and see if you can't come up with some answers. Again, remember, it's anonymous, so when I share them later, so go ahead.
I think staggering needs to be great. So I know we all kind of do that already, but sometimes, you know, you get into, especially if you have a lease up and all of a sudden you've got all your expirations at once, because you were just trying to get full. So reaching out to some or all of them, and see if they want to extend even a couple of months, because it still buys you that time. I mean, that's been helpful in the past.
I kind of started reaching out directly. I probably wouldn't have done this a couple months ago because there was like 30, 40 expirations, but right now it's like a slow time. So coming into this asset, renewals were a little weird. So I kind of have to like reach out to everybody individually and just say, hi, I'm here. What can you talk about? What it is you're looking for? Are you thinking about leaving? I mean, we have a break in session, so that usually, pulls them in, but there was a couple of bad reviews that we had, and so I reached out to those specific people, and there was one that I thought she wasn't gonna review at all, based on how long her review was, but I think we were able to make up for it with maintenance and then getting in there and, trying to kind of change her experience. I don't think anyone had reached out to her. Her review was still the same. So whenever I reached out and, catered to her and actually did what I said I was gonna do, follow through, all of that, she signed the lease and then she went in and corrected her review. And I think that was awesome.
That was like a double win. I was like, whoa, what happened? Communication.
Yeah, communication and follow through.
I also think just the letter is, sometimes are, they're all generated, and so just making sure the correct fees are on there, the correct rent, letting them know about renter's insurance, letting them know about their notice taking timeline. I also find having different options of like if you lease by, renew by this date, you get a better rate, creates a sense of urgency. Yeah, and then also like just making that letter to thank them for their residency. I just think that whole letter experience gets missed sometimes.
So like setting expectations.
Yeah.
And so I think it might have been for the hospitals, but it was like, I don't know, I'm not supposed to talk about it too hard about it. But I think I saw like day one, like from day one, like
Yes.
you have to like consider.
Well, I had EdgeCon and I think it was Easter or one of those where I was hosting that training, but they said it's within the first 90 days. Have their residents know if they're gonna renew or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
We start after they move in.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the door.
So that's like almost like
Really?
reverse,
Yeah.
like, cause the industry's telling you 90 days out, but they're making a decision 90 days before.
Yeah,
It's like,
like,
our kids, it's like
yeah.
a swap.
Yep.
Interesting.
So to have those points, I think would be important, the first 90 days and the last 90 days.
Yeah.
Just something in between, but like, just to let people know that they're valued. And like, she was saying that woman just wanted to be heard.
Yeah. Well, 103 hours, how much does it pay?
People just want to communicate, they just want somebody to listen to them. Now, they don't just want communication, they do want some action.
Right, yeah, for sure.
But
You have to follow up.
you have to follow up.
So right now we're focusing on just the renewal. But I'm also thinking like transparency is important, right? So if you can get them excited, they want to stay in that major renewal.
The big part of the year.
Maybe like, publish like these are the things that we're gonna do in the next 6 months or so to get people excited. Or maybe we have a new playground right there, or healthy parking, things that people like and want to sign up early on. Also maybe like, I don't know how much you guys are professional, I don't work on it on a day-to-day basis, but I don't know like if there are opportunity to maybe even like have a maintenance schedule, people can sign up so that somebody come in for maybe a common issue, fix all that in one go, so you're attending to issues before they become a big problem.
Preventative maintenance.
And going
And
through.
sometimes like people don't know they can sign up or they can ask people to come and look at this. You always have to call the office, schedule a time, if you have a regular schedule, like work, make it easy for them.
Being a student housing, we do maintenance and manager walks. So wanna set up, hey, I don't wanna talk right now, set up a meeting, set up a meeting, some sort. But on that note too, reviews can be brutal. Oh, and the thing is, like, with us, obviously different demographics and age as well. We'll get a call that if you don't fix my washer today, I'm just gonna write a bad review.
Oh, yeah.
And those threats are very, you know,
I know, they have the power of social media.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's it. No, that too, actually, we're gonna go to TikTok or something, you know, and that goes just viral.
Yeah, it's like they hold you hostage.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you broke your dishwasher, you know, you gotta, you know, pay for it, and they're like, oh, no, I'm not gonna pay for it, I'm gonna go see on social media.
I think the relationship though, like with everything, if the relationship's established from day one, then there's grace that's given in situations.
Yeah, something
that,
like that.
Right.
you know, not for everybody, but there's a small percentage that would still probably be upsetting that way.
But then when you're an outsider coming in, it's like, oh man, all right, how can I lower the impact on this hit? And then, you know, sometimes you take a hit, like, my team was like, which one are we gonna make this one? Listen, it's the bigger picture, like, how much is it gonna cost us to just replace this dishwasher rack? And then just say, hey, we'll do it as a one-time courtesy going forward.
I was walking my properties with the manager yesterday. We have some units that have some bad lines and it's been consistent. And so he asked me, he was like, well, can I just do it for free as a customer service and just say, hey, I've given you new lines, you know, for free. And I was like, that's a great idea, absolutely. And then let them know that expectation moving forward.
Right.
It helps for curb appeal and it helps on retention as well.
And then for that, like, that 5,000 revenue back, like the blind versus the 5,000.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a
Like, don't charge them, just fix it and make it nice.
All right, I think they're ready in there. Are we ready?
Yeah.
I think our papers are blank.
Yeah.
We're
And
ready.
they have a great
We're gonna crowd share, so.
Because, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to be consistent. You can't just do it every now and then. You can use it to your advantage. Because when nowadays, before somebody comes out to your property, they've already moved you in. They've already seen, they've already heard your reviews, they've gotten on Facebook, TikTok, whatever. And so, but if they feel like, and I'm not talking just apartment tours, unless you've got people in them, because they want to feel a connection. And if they feel that connection and they can relate to you, they feel like they know you by the time you walk in the door. So you can absolutely turn it around. So if there is a bad review, maybe you can say, oh, this is a one-off. Let me go and talk to them.
Okay, last ask I have for you guys, I need a spokesperson who's gonna share the idea.
Are we ready?
Are we going in there?
Oh, thank you.
Are we going in there?
I think they're gonna come back here.
Yeah, this is the space probably.
Yeah.
Say that again?
I'm wired.
Call me at noon when you're asleep.
Have you seen the gym here yet? You're gonna love it.
Really?
You haven't seen it yet.
Which is great, because she needs ideas. She's building a home gym.
I am.
Oh, you'll be like, wow. This
Really?
Yes. And they have showers here. And the women's like locker rooms, like it's stunning.
You don't even need to go to your apartment after you just
like,
shower
if you
there.
were to, like, guess that, like, how Ishmael was saying, like, one of the leading professionals in with him. He was like, yeah, you know, if you have, like, friends or whoever, you don't want them, like, showering in your place for whatever reason, you just take a shower at the gym.
I love that. So